Scarlet braces. Now, if there's one thing the people of Ireland know about, it's the ways of the Irish leprechaun. They will tell you that the leprechauns make all the shoes and boots the fairies wear. They will tell you that every leprechaun has a pot of gold hidden away in a secret place. And they will tell you if you see a leprechaun, never to take your eyes off him, or he will disappear before you look back again. That is why when Pat Fitzpatrick went out and about each day, he was always saying to himself, "If I ever see a leprechaun, I won't take my eyes off him till he gives me his pot of gold." Pat might have been a better boy if he had spent more time helping his mother dig potatoes and less time looking for leprechauns and pots of gold. Still, all that searching paid off. One fine day, Pat caught sight of a little man, no bigger than his own hand, sitting on a toadstool, sewing a pair of fairy boots. Pat bit his lip and stood very still. "I won't take my eyes off him, so I won't. Not till he's made me the richest boy in all Ireland." Quietly, Pat crept through the grass until he was close enough to reach out and grab the leprechaun in his fist. "Gotcha! No! Where's your pot of gold?"
Stop! Oh, would you frighten a poor creature half to death?
Cried the leprechaun, and his little heart pounded beneath Pat's fingers.
What's that you say about gold? I don't know of any gold or anything about it at all.
Pat squeezed the leprechaun a little tighter, never once looking away. "Don't give me any of your nonsense now," he said. "I shan't let you go until you show me your pot of gold." The leprechaun writhed and struggled until he wriggled one hand free and could point over Pat's shoulder.
"Look, boy, and be quick. Your cow's in the corn."
Pat very nearly turned his head to look, but just in the nick of time he saw it was a trick. "You'll have to do better than that," he laughed, shaking the leprechaun. "I am not taking my eyes off you till I have your pot of gold safe in my hands." Then the leprechaun burst into pitiful tears.
Ah, you're a cruel, heartless boy, so you are. Anyone can see that. Here you stand talking of gold when your own house is burning down and your mother inside it.
What? In his horror, Pat very nearly dropped the leprechaun and ran home. Just in the nick of time, he saw it was a trick and shook the leprechaun until the poor little fella turned as green as his own coat. All right, the leprechaun spluttered at last.
"I'll tell you where to find my pot of gold."
"No, you won't. You'll show me the very spot," said Pat. And taking off his scarlet braces, he tied them to the leprechaun like a lead to a dog. The magical little cobbler led Pat to the top of a hill. Thousands upon thousands of thistles grew in every direction. He stopped beside one thistle that looked exactly like every other.
"Since you won't take your eyes off me, I am unable to tell you a lie. My pot of gold's buried below this particular thistle, but I'm thinking you'll need a spade if you're to dig it up."
"Oh-ho! I see your trick," Pat jeered, squeezing the leprechaun until the little chap's eyes bulged. "You think I'll never find this one thistle again among so many." So he untied the scarlet braces from round the leprechaun and tied them round the thistle instead, to mark it. Then he pushed the leprechaun deep into his pocket. But the very moment he lost sight of him, the leprechaun changed into thin air and was gone. Pat didn't mind. He ran home as fast as his legs would carry him and fetched a spade. It was so heavy that he had to drag it behind him all the way back to the hill. "Thought he could trick me, eh?" he panted. "Well, he didn't reckon on the cleverness of good old Pat Fitzpatrick." Puffing and blowing, he stopped at the top of the hill to mop his forehead. And there was a sight in front of him that made his jaw drop. A pair of scarlet braces dangled from every thistle in sight as far as the eye could see. Thousands upon thousands of scarlet braces. There was no more hope of recognizing the leprechaun's thistle than of finding one particular drop of water in the whole of the Irish Sea. So, if you ever chance to see a leprechaun, and you've a mind to steal his pot of gold, you'd better keep a sharp eye on the little fella, and remember the story of Pat Fitzpatrick and his scarlet braces.